the United States of America, President Barack Obama.
Good to see you. I just want to say everybody back home, right back at you. We appreciate you. You always give us straight talk.
And welcome to Straight Talk. Well, today we're going to talk about the community and how we can help the community, or how we can pitch in and start things for the community. The community needs all the help it can get. We're not getting it from the politicians at this point. Maybe we will start getting it from the politicians because they're beginning to understand that the people are the boss. The politicians are the servants. Joining us today is Ray and Pamela Banks. From what organization, guys?
Restoration Ministries.
Restoration Ministries. Now, Pamela, explain what that is.
Well, Restoration Ministries, it has a few different things. It's a home for men and women who at some point struggled with drug or alcohol addiction. Mm-hmm. And then under that program, you have the kids programs, the after-school program, summer day camp, and other things that help the community out, like food pantry, youth group, things like that. And
this is all free of charge to the kids, to the families?
Pretty much. Majority of it is free. Just the summer day camp is a small fee.
Small fee for the summer day camp. You guys really want to help the community. If we all get into that type of thing, maybe we'll stop having so many problems with the children in the community.
Well, one of the things that Restoration Ministries wanted to do is that when they came into the community, they wanted to be different. They just didn't want to be a Christian organization that taking property off the tax rolls and not making a difference. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that we wanted to do is to really, really impact the community. So we have a program for men and women that come from criminal and drug addicted backgrounds. It's a 12 to 18 month program. It's a faith-based program, and we house them for 12 to 18 months and help them put their lives back together. We start out with just helping them open up bank accounts, helping them, get it reconnected to family, as well as helping them stay off drugs. And so it's a 12 to 18 month program, and it's a free program, and because most of the people that come to us, they have they have exhausted all of their resources. Mm-hmm. So now we're there to help them, to serve them, to walk with them. Pretty much we're there to disciple them, to help them to become better human beings.
Did you see a big difference when the gentleman closed down all the mental health centers in Chicago?
I didn't see that big of a difference, but most of our folks that come to us are long-term drug users, mm-hmm. who have been trying to get off drugs for many, many years. And they've been into all type of programs, and they've come to the conclusion that they want to try a faith-based program. And then they come to us and we interview them and see if they're fit for the program, and they come in and we just spend the next 12 to 18 months helping them put their lives back together.
Well, who I was talking about was those individuals who are mentally ill without the use of marijuana, without the use of any kind of alcoholic beverages, just mentally ill, period.
Well, the mentally ill, we're not, in our facility, we are not equipped. We don't have doctors, we don't have psychiatrists, mm-hmm. and all these folks to help deal with their mental illness. That's not what we do. That's not our footprint. We would love to do everything, but we try to specialize in working with men and women that come from criminal and drug addicted backgrounds. And we're specializing in working with kids. And so we could detour them from the gangs and from the drug activity and from all the urban ills that are out there. So there are several mental institutions that help with mental illness, and that's not what we're trying to do. We wish we could.
I think both are really necessary.
Both are really necessary, right. But what we do is what I just explained.
Yeah, and what they do would not interfere with what you're doing.
No.
Mentally ill.
No.
That wouldn't interfere at all. I was just wondering if you had that type of thing going too. But you see, in our communities, we have these problems, and we don't have any help. So you're providing something that needs to be done all over the city, in all neighborhoods.
One of the things the founder of Restoration Ministries wanted to do, Dr. John Sullivan and his wife, Barbara Sullivan, they founded Restoration Ministries years ago. They wanted to work with street people, men who come from criminal backgrounds, drug addicted backgrounds, men and women who were streetwise, and what they wanted to do is to train them in Christian principles and make them wise unto the ways of the Lord, so that these people can in turn begin to do what I'm doing. I came through the program 30 years ago. I came there as a drug addict, and she was about 3 years old then. And when I came through the program, and they helped me. They didn't give me a handout. They gave me a hand up. And they discipled me, and then pretty much said, now go do likewise. Go make disciples. And so we started these programs to help men. And out of these programs, while helping men, birthed other programs. We started a boxing club, and kids are boxing. And then we started an after-school program. And so we have the after-school program as a deterrent to keep kids away from drugs, giving them something to do after school. The kids in our neighborhood, they go to school extra 2.5 hours and don't even know it because they're having fun over at our place, in which she's the director of that program.
Director, right. Okay.
Yeah. She runs the after-school program.
What age?
We take students from kindergarten through 9th grade.
Kindergarten through 9th. And this is all free of charge.
Yes,
with
the
the
after-school
exception of
program.
the summer camps.
Yeah. And then the summer camps only cost about, what, $25?
Just $40 for the whole 7 weeks.
For the whole 7 weeks?
Yeah,
$40?
7 weeks is up, $40.
Just much less than the Park District charges.
Yeah, Park District is expensive.
They charge, See, our goal is not to make money off our programs. Our goal is to make the programs affordable, and so that the folks can come to the programs and benefit from them.
Right.
When we overprice it, then the kids who don't have any money, they won't be able to come. So we put a small price tag on it just to cover some of our expenses.
Well, that's
And then if you have it totally free, they
sensible.
won't come. But if you put a price tag on it,
Right.
Mama gonna say, "Boy, you going?" Because I done paid mine $40.
right. So, I think what you guys are doing is really marvelous, and it needs done, like I said, all over the city.
Yeah.
We need more politicians to think like that. We need more politicians to have an affinity for what is happening around them. If they, see, the people basically don't know that they're in charge of the politicians. They think the politicians are in charge of them. So therefore, with that thought, the politicians can use that to really straighten our community out by just going to them and telling them this is what you got to do. This is what I demand that you do.
Yeah, I could spend my
Howard?
life battling the politician and trying to get him to do what he's supposed to do. Or I could take the James Brown approach and say, I don't want nobody to give me nothing. Just open up the door. I get it myself.
Yeah.
And so I think the church's role is to minister. Not to fill your church building, but the folks in the church building need to get out of the church and fill the community.
Right.
And so we'll meet on Sundays and have church, but all week long, our Christian group, our Christian organization, we are trying to send our tentacles into the community
That's
through
similar.
the drug rehabilitation program, through the boxing club, through our thrift stores, through the youth program, the after-school program. We want to reach the community that way. And trust me, there are kids that have came through our youth programs who are now bringing their kids back.
So lots
So-
of generations.
So we're seeing several generations. I mean, if you look at it, that program touched my life because they were doing outreach. And they reached out to me while I was in a drug rehabilitation center. But now when they was reaching out to me, they didn't realize they were also reaching out to my children and my children's children. And so now my daughter, she's doing the same thing. She's reaching out to people. So the politicians, they have the money, they have the power, but we still have gifts ourselves. And all we have to do is put our best foot forward and start, paying attention to our own communities.
You know,
I
it's-
think that the responsibility of the community is really
The people that
the
live in it.
church and the people that live in it. And so if we could begin to empower the people that live in the community and come alongside them and say, hey, we're here not to run your community, not to tell you what to do, but to help you do things in your community that is valuable and viable to your community.
See, we're too divided. You know, what your organization is similar to that of Nation of Islam. You know, they took people who were not clean, cleaned them up, gave them a newspaper to go out and sell, make money for yourself, get paid, and I thought I saw it as a great thing as a child when I was coming up on the west side of Chicago. I saw that. I saw
Well, one
that.
of the things that we do that is that when we work with people, we work with all people. I mean, there's white, black, Hispanic, Asian, and there's just a whole multicultural group of people that we work together in reaching out to a community.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's the
No.
right thing to do.
Now, and so I believe deep down in my heart that God is interested in all people. I
Sure.
believe that He created all people.
God's
And-
spirit is in all people.
right. And so when God, challenges us through the Word of God, to go make disciples of all nations and baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. And I understand that all nations mean all nations.
Right.
There is no confusion in that. And
See,
so-
even Trump said in his inaugural speech that he's going to make America great again. And he held up for a second. He said, "But there's only one America. You may be black, you may be white, or you may be brown, but you will all bleed red. One America." See, he said that. Now, whether he meant it, was just throwing out some words or not, I don't know.
Well,
I got a theory that
I'm not all that concerned about what he meant or really what he said.
but it was true.
But what I'm concerned about is that when we hear the call of God on our own life, see, I can only be responsible for me. I can't be responsible for what Trump do and think, nor can I be responsible for either one of you or what you do and think.
No, I'm saying what you said is what Trump was. You know, what Trump
Yeah.
said. Y'all saying the same thing. It's one America. It's one people. You may, regardless to what color you are, still just one person,
Right.
one culture. It's still just God. God did not split himself up in a whole different bunch of colors.
But, okay. But what I thought we were talking about is reaching the community
Yeah,
and serving the community
yeah.
and, trying to help a community. And that's what we do over at Restoration Ministries. We try to serve, and we try to help a community.
And that's commendable.
Now, we have an art program. Kids are doing a fantastic job over there with the art. We have a dance program. Kids are learning how to do dance, express themselves through dance. We have acting over there, you know, and some of our kids have even gone on to be on television shows, you know. Some of the local shows that I filmed in Chicago, Chicago Med, Chicago PD, Chicago Fire. Some of our kids have even had an opportunity to be a part of that. We have a boxing club where we've had at least 4, maybe 5 guys have come through there and now professional boxers. We have Chicago Golden Glove champions. We have National Golden Glove champions. We had the first female junior Olympic champion to come out of there. And this is taking kids off the street. Our motto in the boxing club is that it's better to sweat in the gym than to bleed in the streets. And so the kids are in the gym, they're learning the art of boxing, they're hearing the word of God, and now we got kids making money at boxing, doing what they love. So if you making money and doing what you love, you ain't really working at all. And so we got kids who learn how to play instruments. And last year, we assembled a jazz band where these kids got the opportunity to perform in front of their parents and their friends, in front of the community. We do a street festival at the end of the summer. And all these young people get together and they formed a jazz band because we had young men who are musicians said they want to start a jazz band. And these kids started a jazz band. Now, they have learned music. You will never, ever be able to take that away from them. They're going to be a musician for the rest of their life. And they stopped in our program and picked up a form and said, "Oh, I can have music lessons for $10 and I get 12 sessions."
Wow, you play an instrument?
No, I don't play an instrument. But we have people in our organization that do play instruments. And you got kids learning art. You got kids learning piano. We got kids being part of a drum line. So we got a lot of things that's going on. And not to even mention the things that's going on in the after school program, you know, what's the little girl name that went to Notre Dame on the full ride?
Miss Christina. She kind of came out and started helping us, but she came to our program like years ago, just kind of helping us out, and one of her friends was kind of in the program. So she goes to Notre Dame right now, and she figured a way to like write a grant so that she can get another year like free of college. So she comes back most summers. She's come back all her summers to work in our summer day camp. And she's really good at math. So she usually is a math tutor. And I believe she's majoring in international business. So to me, that's really cool to see these kids grow up, go off to college. And I actually just seen a couple kids. Well, we had a bunch of 8th graders graduate, a bunch of kids graduate from high school, and then I had a few students that were with us from like kindergarten, and I just seen them graduate from college. So I just was like, man, I'm just proud of y'all. They did it. They did, what the status quo. From living in Harvey, there's not a lot of graduates from Harvey. There's not a lot of, the expectation is low, but these kids, they are, doing what is not expected. And that's graduating from college or being the first generation to graduate from college and graduate high school.
How long have you guys lived in Harvey?
30 years.
30?
About 30.
Yeah, we've been there for 30 years. She was a little girl when she moved and moved into Harvey. So about 30 years. And so when Restoration Ministries moved into Harvey,
Yeah, about 30 years ago.
one of the things that we wanted to do is we wanted to be different. And we wanted to be the hands and feet of Jesus in that community. So we wanted to be Jesus with skin on, so to speak, where we was going to make a difference. So we started trying programs. Now, all the programs didn't work, but the 20 that we do now, they're working. We have a food pantry. We're one of the best food pantries in the state of Illinois. And we've recruited a fantastic team of people who make all these things work together. Now, here's the interesting thing about our team. We are black, we are white, we're Hispanic.
Very diverse.
We have indigenous folks. She came up through the Restoration Ministries programs. I came up through the Restoration Ministries program. I would say 50% of our staff are indigenous people that have came up through the program. A lot of them are former drug addicts who.
What's the average number of participants you have right now?
I'm sorry?
The average number that you have participants.
How many people in the program?
Right now we got about 33 guys in the program, and we have like 11 girls, 12 girls in the program. And so what we do is, when these folks come to us, we know they have weaknesses. Everybody have weaknesses, but we don't focus on their weaknesses. We start to look at their strengths, or we try to look for that hidden talent. We got a guy in there right now today. I would have never known this guy could be a woodworker. Every time I walk past him now, it amazes me. I go over there, this guy's building stuff. He's building shelves for the resale store. He's taking old furniture, refurbishing it, putting it back out on the floor. We could have got $10 for it, but he spent a little time in it. Now we'll get $80 for it. But the more important thing than that is that it's therapy for him. He is changing. He's happy. He's growing. We got another guy in the program that loves gardening. I mean, this guy just gonna grow a garden. I mean, we already had a garden, but he's gonna start to help take care of that garden. So many people look at you as see your weaknesses, and they focus on your weakness. Now, all they want to do is sit back and talk about your weakness, your drug addiction, how you failed. But there's got to be some more substance to you other than where you failed at. You know, I'll give you an example. Shaquille O'Neal. His weakness was free throws. And for many years, the teams that he was with, they focused on the fact that he shot free throws bad. But let's look at the 5 things that he did good. He rebounded well. He had a very high field goal percentage. He was your leading scorer. He is a massive 290 pounds of 7-foot man in the middle that could bounce anybody around. And the guy was blocking shots. But he missed free throws. You want to take him out of the game. So you took the bad free throw player out of the game, but you also took all this out of the game.
Right.
So what we're saying is that the guy may have one problem. That one problem may be drug addiction. But he got a whole lot of more things that's happening with him that makes him complete. So anybody can make a mistake. Anybody could do a crime and go to jail. But what we want to do is to say, let's not focus on what he did or where he been. Let's focus on his undiscovered success. Let's focus on his potential and start working on these things and building those things. And if you build these things, he won't go back to that one thing that's messed him up.
Right.
Like you take Shaquille O'Neal, for instance, they start focusing on this one thing is free throws. That 1 year, they say, we're going to work on making you better here, making you better here, making you better here, making you better here, making you better here. And what happened to Shaquille O'Neal? Free throw percentage went up 15%. So I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's what we do over there at Restoration Ministries. We unashamedly make disciples. We unashamedly build into people's life.
Well,
And we have an awesome, awesome team of people that make that happen.
based on what you've said so far, you must have did a lot of research on what the community needs. Mm-hmm. Can you tell us some of the things that you're not doing what the community really needs right now?
One of the things that we're not doing, but we're in the early infant planning stages of doing, and we've did 2 houses, is that the old houses, the dilapidated houses that's in the community. What we're hoping to do and continue to do is that a block east of us and a block west of us, we want to tackle those first. You know, that property that's may still have some life in it.
Right.
Put some money in it. build the property up, sell it, and then take those proceeds and then start working on another property. So we're investigating that. We did a couple properties, but we kept those because we needed those for renters. But the next ones that we get, we'll probably find them, fix them, and then flip them. And we want to do that, and then we're going to keep widening out. Another thing that we want to do is to start more businesses. We have 2 businesses. We have one resale store that's located in Harvey, Illinois on Dixie Highway, 150th and Dixie Highway. We have another resale store that's located in South Holland. The proceeds from those stores help us do a lot of things. We're creating jobs for people in the community, and we're creating affordable used items for the people in the community. But we want to start more businesses, and we are looking for more business ideas, you know. We don't believe that we know it all, and we're willing to listen to anybody who say, hey, you know what, I got an idea. Because that may be the very idea that we need to go to the next level. Right. I mean, that's how our boxing club started. One of the residents that's in the rehab program came to us and said, hey, I box and we should start a boxing club. And we did. One of our men who learned how to play chess while in the penitentiary helped us start a chess club. Mm-hmm. We got little kids learning how to play chess.
Yeah. You know, the chess thing is good, but I can't get into that boxing thing.
Well, boxing, you know, is good for that kid who want to be responsible for his own sport. You know, it's not a team sport. It's an individual who wants to box. I don't blame you, though. I don't like the idea of somebody hitting me in my face.
Well, not just me. I hate to see, like Muhammad Ali. You know, he's much younger than myself. Where is he now?
Yeah, but...
You know? And I can name a number of others.
I'm gonna share something with you about that. Amateur boxing is probably one of the safest sports out there. Safer than football, basketball.
Well, yeah, football is bad too.
Yeah, and so in amateur boxing, little kids got the big gloves on. They got groin protection on. They got a big headgear on. So they're really, really not hurting each other.
Right.
And so then if one of those kids happened to get dazed, he can't box again according to the USA amateur boxing rules. He can't box again for 30 days. He can practice, but he can't have any contact for 30 days. Mm. And what happened to the football players, when they go out there, they get dazed. They got to come out for one play. Then they go back out there, they get hit again. Then they get this, what they call second impact syndrome, which causes the concussion and permanent damage. So it's a very, very safe sport. We've researched that for sure.
I just can't. I can't see it.
Yeah.
I can't see it because as a child, I guess maybe, in the first grade, because I did go. Oh, I went to a boxing. Well, actually, to a gym. I went to the gym, and they were boxing. That's the only thing they were doing was boxing. So they had me put on some gloves. I said, "No, I don't want to do this. Come on, come on. Are you chicken?" I said, "No, I'm not chicken. We're getting a fight." So the first time I got hit, I was ready to kill somebody. It wasn't.
Yeah, you're right. Boxing was for you. You probably would have been a great basketball player.
Boxing wasn't for me. I would kill somebody.
Yeah.
They usually go through training first before they even put the gloves on. So.
Yeah. In boxing, you had bad coaching, man. In boxing, our kids, before a punch is ever thrown at them, before they throw a punch at anybody, they are trained on how to throw the punch, how to block a punch, And our coaches take them through a routine. They don't get in there and just start wailing on each other. That's not boxing.
Oh, they stopped it. They stopped me right away and told me, no, pull these things off. This is not for you.
Yeah.
Everybody else, they box around. They saw it done before, but the minute they hit me, now I'm ready to fight. Ain't no playing no more. You hit me upside of my head.
Yeah.
Hey Pam, as long as we, why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the field trips that you do in the summer with kids and stuff, because not only do are they there, but they go on a field trip every week too.
Okay. When we come back, be thinking about that. When we come back from the commercial, tell us about that. Okay, Pam?
Okay.
We'll be right back after these messages.
Every now and then I get that feeling, and I've got something I want to say.
One of the great things about being a vegan is that the uniqueness of it.
And I've got to say it my way.
And so gathered with me today are just a sampling of those vegans who have become loyal supporters of Soul Vegetarian.
Welcome to Soul Vegetarian Restaurant.
Hart, what's going on?
I'm leaving.
Why? What did I do?
Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit.
Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just please,
Don't leave. Okay. But remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
Hey, look, it's those guys.
What's up? What's happening today?
Let's do those pearly whites, man.
Yeah. The boys, check it out. Stand up to my terrorists, don't compare us. Go.
Ooh, cute.
Are you good to try?
I'm fine. Hey girl, what's the sound? What's the name? What's good? What's up?
Why? Why? Why are you following me? Why my hoodie make me look suspicious?
Why does my music make me dangerous?
Why are people that are supposed to protect me attacking me?
Why are you afraid of me? Why do you think I'm dangerous? Why do I afraid of people who are supposed to protect me?
Why can't I make a peace sign without you labeling the gang sign?
Why does standing your ground only work when I'm on the ground?
Why do you show this photo over this one?
Why do you only stop and frisk me?
Why do you have low expectations for me?
Why can't I run down the street without causing alarms?
Why do you think I'm a thug?
Why do you assume I'm armed? Why can I break? Why is my mom scared every time I leave the house?
Why are you targeting me?
Why am I a target? Why? 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 I know why. And it has to stop. It must stop.
Because I have dreams. Because I can change the world.
Because I'll make a difference. Because I have a family. Because I am strong.
Because I'm talented.
I have a voice.
I can find a cure.
I have goals. I can lead the country. I am determined.
I have a future.
Because I'm a scholar.
I am powerful.
I'm someone's friend. I'm someone's brother.
I'm someone's son. Someone loves me.
And because my life matters too.
My life matters.
My life matters.
My life matters. My life matters. My life matters.
All lives matter.
And so did theirs.
Tropical World. Come to Golden's Tropical World for tropical fish of all sizes, colors, and types, and other small animals like iguanas and birds from all over the world. There are beautiful tanks, pet supply needs, including dog and cat foods, and expert consultation. Check out Golden's Tropical World, 8611 South Ashland Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. Call ahead, 773-239-8809. Your Pet Shop. And we're back. You were telling us about the, what was it?
There's several field trips that she do with kids,
Oh,
just
yeah.
exposing them to new ideals and new cultures. And Pam,
Yes.
could you discuss some of those field trips?
Some of the field trips that I think the kids enjoy the most is like when we go away to camp for a week, and it's just a fun-filled week of camp. They get to go do like water sports that they'll never really get a chance to do if they just stay home. They get to meet new people from all over the Midwest. Fishing, swimming, things like that they don't usually get to do like at home. They get to do it out. We take the kids up to Silver Birch Ranch in White Lake, Wisconsin, and they have a blast. And then throughout the summer, the kids get a field trip per week. I believe some of the trips we're going to this year, the White Sox Bulls Academy, which is kind of focus on like all the different type of sports, eating healthy, staying physical, things like that. So I think they'll have a really good time there. I'm trying to think of any other field trips that we do.
One of the things we forgot to mention about Silver Birch Ranch is that these kids get to ride horses.
Oh yeah, they really enjoy horses.
I mean, you're not gonna ride a horse around here.
Right.
And they try to get on every horse ride they can while they're out there.
Yeah.
Well, it's something that we have not done in the past. Offered almost free of charge, really, this type of activity for the children for summer. This was year round, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I focused on getting more for day camp during the summer months when they're out of school.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that what we're doing is what the church should be doing. We have a lot of churches in our communities. And I believe that if the churches will begin to focus more on the communities and trying to reach the communities and trying to reach the kids and try to get the community involved, I think we will have better communities. Because the government, they're doing what they can, but I believe that that's the church's job. We're in the community. We're there.
We know what we need.
We know the needs of the community. And the thing is that we have to begin to invest our resources, our time, our talent, and our treasures in the community. And I've gone to some places and spoke, and I told them, I said, I could tell you what your priority is if you let me see your checkbook. And so...
That's young man you're talking to, or young people? You say checkbook?
I'm talking to anybody who got control of the checkbook. Let me see your checkbook. I'll tell you where your priorities are. And the bottom line is that we decided that we're going to...
I don't have no checkbook.
I know, but you know what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying.
Yeah,
and most of the people out there in the audience understand what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that we made kids a priority. We made the community a priority. We made drug addicts, former drug addicts, a priority. We said we're going to reach the unreachable. We're going to love the unlovable. We're going to put our resources in that community, and we're going to try to help people.
I think you're doing more than try. I think you're doing more than try. So how many years has it been so far?
Well, I came there June 12th of 1989, and they started in 1988 with the outreach.
31 years.
Yeah.
And you're still working with 40 and 50 children at a time. I think you're doing it.
I think it's about 85.
It's 100, about 85 to 100 kids a day.
A day.
Mhm.
Wow. Okay. Well, see, I'm saying if you're over 50, you're batting 1,000.
Yeah, it's just, you know.
And you push it up to 2,000.
That'd be a bit much.
150, maybe 3,000.
I mean, ideally, a wish that I would have is that we can start taking restoration ministries, planting them, one in Chicago. Well, first on the other side of Harvey, then in Chicago, because we do get a lot of parents from Chicago.
In the Phoenix area.
Yeah, we have students that are living in Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
We do get a few parents that are from Chicago that hear about our program, but we're so like in the community, so the community they know when to come to register, and by the time like people outside the community hear about it, we're full. So they're like, man, why don't we have anything like this in Chicago? Oh, we don't have this, or we don't have this in our area. So I would like to take a bunch of small restoration ministries and put them in different places. That's one of my wishes.
Well, you got a good. I think you guys got a good thing going, and I think that some of the viewers should take heed and maybe duplicate that in other communities around the city of Chicago. If we get that going around the city of Chicago, we may stop some of the violence. We may stop some of the.
Well, you know what, and that's true. And one of the things that we did is that we allowed other churches to train us. We got the Agape Center on 111th in Wallace. Well, they train us for our after-school program. They teach us how to run that to a program called Say Yes. They also offer a discipleship training program that I've gone through at least 3 times, just to be refreshed and trained. So we don't do this all by ourselves. We learn from other people. We glean from other people's work. And we take it and we bring it back to our community. We go to conferences. We learn. We say, hey, they got a toy store. And so we came and duplicated that toy store for our community. Now, every year, we have a toy store where we collect a little over 2,000 toys, and we sell the toys very, very cheaply.
Between $1 and $5.
Yeah.
How much?
Between like $1 and $5.
Wow.
And so you get nice. Go ahead, sweetheart.
You get so if you buy a Barbie at the store, it's probably $20 to $30.
Mm-hmm.
But you can buy that same brand new Barbie for your daughter for $5.
Yeah, and we do that every year for the community. And what makes that special to me is when those grandmas come in who, for some reason or another, they have custody of their grandkids. And they got very little resources, and they want to have a Merry Christmas. And we have students from around the community to help them shop. They walk with them with a big garbage bag. They become human shopping carts. Yep. And they walk with these people and they shop. And then we have a team of people right after they pay for their toys, in which they're not going to pay more than $5 for any toy. They're able to buy, I think, at least 10 toys. And then we have a team of volunteers that will gift wrap those toys.
And put their names on them.
Put their names on them. So when the kids come back home from school, the house is full of gifts, under the tree. And these folks were able to come and shop and buy their kids quality toys and were able to come and shop with dignity. There was a time where you just give the toy away and they were happy, the kid was happy, but the parent wasn't. Everybody has this built-in DNA. They have this need to be needed. And they wanted to help meet the needs of their children and their grandchildren.
Well, must the participants be from Harvey, or can they be from, that Harvey area, I should say? Or can
Well,
they be
most
from
of the
Chicago?
participants that come to the toy store are folks who are already signed up in our program in the community. Of course, we couldn't have a citywide toy store with only 2,000 toys.
Right.
But everything I'm saying can be duplicated
In another community.
in other communities. I mean, we begin to early in the year, recruiting people to purchase toys to give to the toy store. Then you can come and work at the toy store. We need over 50 volunteers to work the toy store. So it's a it's a fun event. It's a rewarding event. And our staff have really, really got it very well organized.
Yeah, it's pretty
where people
fun.
have appointments. You're going to shop at 1, you're going to shop at 9 a.m. So it's not chaotic. It's not, people trampling over each other like Black Friday. They come in with their little voucher and say, okay, I'm scheduled to shop at this time. Okay, we bring a student in, give them a bag, the student goes shop with them. Then while you're waiting to shop, we have all these pastries and festive desserts and coffee and tea and stuff. We can sit down. Then if you got your kids with you, and we have an area where they can color in like a little daycare area. We'll watch the kids while you shop. And that's meeting the needs of the community.
Well, Harvey is right in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, right in the middle. You got Phoenix on one side.
You got Markham, you got
Dixmoor.
Robbins, Dixmoor, South Holland, Homewood,
Country Club Hills.
Riverdale.
Riverdale, yes.
And Markham.
And Markham. With that said, we have a responsibility. We have a responsibility. All those towns that you just named were black towns, right? Very few people in those towns are not black. In fact, that whole area, we need to come together. That whole area need to come together out there and build a power base. I'm working with Mayor Ward now to pull that together.
Mayor Ward, what town is that?
Robbins.
Right, okay. Yeah, I mean,
It's changing. It probably at one point was majority of African Americans, but it's now probably 50-50 Hispanic African American, or a little bit more certain areas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you're right. The community needs to come together, but in order for a community to come together, this is just my belief, and it ain't written in stone nowhere. I believe that the churches have to come together. Because the churches are planted in the community with the hopes of serving the community.
Yeah, I'm a minister. I hate to say this, but we ain't gonna do it.
That's why we need more individual churches to start to model it.
I say we will do it.
And that we will do it, because if you begin to model it, and you begin to see the success and model it, when folks realize that you're in the community, and you're in the community to give, and in the community to make a difference, well, people want to be a part of that. And so they start giving you things to help you do what you do. Now, they may not be able to be there in the community with you, but they realize that you're on the front lines and you're doing things and you need resources to do the things that you're doing. Well, people will support you in doing that. But you have to make that first step. You have to go.
See, I did that for about 10 years, church to church, evangelizing, and trying to pull that same concept together, pulling people together, pulling them together. We were on local cable at the time. We'd have 5 ministers coming one every week, 5 different ministers every week to come to discuss that. Discuss it over and over and over, and seeing how important it is for us to come together and stop being separatists. We're both a part of God.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we can call yourself any denomination you want or any division you want. You're still just a part of God. And let's make that work for us instead of against us.
Yeah.
And just they would allow me to come into their churches all around and speak. And the people were concerned. They would come and talk to me about it, but then the pastor would get up and say something else.
Well, the thing about...
Yeah. I think it's similar. We have the after school program.
Mm-hmm.
Man, how can I help these kids? Majority of kids are Hispanic. Parents may speak Spanish at home. So I kind of was in a similar situation. How can I help these kids? But back to the whole community coming together, I was able to go to the schools that the kids were at, get the support from the teachers. Enough support where teachers email me, so-and-so didn't turn in their homework today. So I know that I can talk to that student, talk to that parent. Now that student has three different people following up on why or if they need help with their homework or if they're not understanding it. So you guys talked about how y'all sat around and y'all talked about, all the different things you do. Somebody has to take that step out. Like I did, I had to take that step and go into the schools and talk to the parents to say, how can we as a community make sure every kid that comes through this program, at the very least, get their homework done, and by the time they get in 8th grade, they should be reading at 8th grade level.
Right.
And
the
sometimes
schools help really good. The teachers, we even have teachers come over to train our staff on fun and creative ways to do things to help the kids learn in reading and math and science. So
okay, we are really getting into something very, very touchy right now, and I think it's important what you're saying. It's very important that we do come together. See, every other culture in this world comes together but us. Why not? Why is it? We want to coalesce with everybody else. We don't want to coalesce with ourselves.
Well, you could try to bring people together.
Yeah.
And you try to get everybody at the table, but you got to go with whoever comes to the table. In this situation, we start going into schools. I started going into schools long before she did, and we went as servants. We don't go into the school with all the answers. We're not going into schools to critique the principal or the superintendent or the teachers. That's not our role. We're going into school to come help serve. And the first time I went into the school, they had a gang problem, and I went in to help with the gang problem. I didn't critique the superintendent. I didn't critique the principal, nor did I critique the teachers. I went in as a servant. I said, I want to volunteer my time to help. And I developed a team of people who went in with me. We volunteered our time to help. And what we did, we went in the dining hall for all 4 lunch periods, and we sat and we had lunch with kids. And we had discussions with them at the table during lunch. And we had got a lot of valuable information out of them because we wasn't coming in there trying to make them pull their pants up. We weren't coming in there trying to tell the girls how to dress. That wasn't our role. We were coming in there as servants. And what we found out is that if you befriend the kid, many kids, they don't have adult friends. If you can befriend a kid and get to know a kid, then they'll begin to trust you. Then you can say, hey, boy, pull your pants up.
And they'll do it.
And they'll do it. Hey, girl, cover it up. You don't have to be like that. But what we do we go in to serve. And then while we're there, we look for other ways to serve. So we start picking kids up and bringing them to the youth ministry. You know, and we have a Tuesday night youth group with them then we start doing camping trips with them. And we start doing other things, you know. 3 times in the summer, June, July, and August, we do big trips with them. We would take a ride out to the Warren Dunes and spend the day at the beach, you know. We'll go to Great America, or we'll go to the water park. And then the big trip is Silver Birch Ranch Camp, where we'll spend 6 days in the woods, you know, away from everything. And these kids look up at night, they see stars. They sit around campfires. And they've never seen stars like that before.
We're running out of time, so what would you like to leave the audience with? What would you like to have them do at this time? What would you like to have the audience do?
Well, I'd like to have the audience to know that Restoration Ministries is located in Harvey, Illinois at 253 East, 159th Street. And if we could serve you anyway, you can call us at area code 708-333-3370. And you can ask for myself, Ray Banks, or Pamela Banks. But if you are someone who is looking for recovery in the faith-based drug rehab, you can call my friend Derek at 708-333-3370. We're here to serve the community. We're here to make a difference. And one of the biggest things that I would love to do, I would love to begin to, like my daughter said, help plant programs like ours in other areas. God bless you, and thank you all for listening to us.
Pamela?
I would say that people know what they want in their community. So I think, like you were saying, it's their responsibility to take that big step and to just do what your community needs.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But we take a big step in the other direction. Most of us, anyway. And it's commendable that you guys are attempting to pull these youngsters together while they're still young and give them some wisdom. I appreciate you. Thank you very much for joining us on Straight Talk.
Thank you.
Pamela, Ray.
Thanks for having us on Straight Talk.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you've enjoyed the program, and join us again tomorrow. Good night.